may I share with you an account by my friend and BYU colleague, the late Clin D. Barris. I do so with the permission of his wife Marilyn and their family. Referring to his childhood on a large Idaho farm, Brother Barris spoke of his nightly assignment to round up the cows at milking time. Because the cows pastured in a field bordered by the occasionally treacherous Teton River, the strict rule in the Barris household was that during the spring flood season, the children were never to go after any cows who ventured across the river. They were always to return home and seek mature help. One Saturday, just after his 7th birthday, Brother Barris's parents promised the family a night at the movies if the chores were done on time. But when young Clin arrived at the pasture, the cows he sought had crossed the river, even though it was running at high flood stage. Knowing his rare night at the movies was in jeopardy, he decided to go after the cows himself, even though he had been warned many times never to do so. As the 7-year-old urged his old horse Banner down into the cold, swift stream, the horse's head barely cleared the water. An adult sitting on the horse would have been safe. But at Brother Barris's tender age, the current completely covered him, except when the horse lunged several times, bringing Clin's head above water just enough to gasp for air. Here, I turn to Brother Barris's own words. When Banner finally climbed the other bank, I realized that my life had been in grave danger and that I had done a terrible thing. I had knowingly disobeyed my father. I felt that I could redeem myself only by bringing the cows safely home. Maybe then my dad would forgive me. But it was already dusk, and I didn't know for sure where I was. Despair overwhelmed me. I was wet and cold, lost and afraid. I climbed down from old Banner, fell to the ground by his feet, and began to cry. Between thick sobs, I tried to offer a prayer, repeating over and over to my Father in heaven, "I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm sorry, forgive me." I prayed for a long time. When I finally looked up, I saw through my tears a figure dressed in white walking toward me. In the dark, I felt certain it must be an angel sent in answer to my prayers. I did not move or make a sound as the figure approached. So overwhelmed was I by what I saw. Would the Lord really send an angel to me who had been so disobedient? Then a familiar voice said, "Son, I've been looking for you." In the darkness, I recognized the voice of my father and ran to his outstretched arms. He held me tightly, then said gently, "I was worried. I'm glad I found you." I tried to tell him how sorry I was, but only disjointed words came tumbling out of my lips. Thank you, darkness, afraid, river, alone. Later that night, I learned that when I had not returned from the pasture, my father had come looking for me. When neither I nor the cows were to be found, he knew I had crossed the river and was in danger. Because it was dark and time was of the essence, he removed his clothes down to his long white thermal underwear, tied his shoes around his neck, and swam a treacherous river to rescue a wayward son. My beloved brothers and sisters, I testify of angels, both the heavenly and the mortal kind. In doing so, I am testifying that God never leaves us alone, never leaves us unaided in the challenges that we face, nor will He so long as time shall last, or the earth shall stand, or there shall be one man or woman or child upon the face thereof to be saved. On occasions, global or personal, we may feel we're distanced from God, shut out from heaven, lost, alone in dark and dreary places. Often enough, that distress can be of our own making. But even then, the Father of us all is watching and assisting. And always there are those angels who come and go all around us, seen and unseen, known and unknown, mortal and immortal.